Last time on the Incorrigible Party. After 2 weeks spent mostly apart, the party receives invitations to dinner at the castle. Kylea takes Opal, Hellcruck, and Rumkey through one of many secret openings in the wall that cordons off the desolate domain, up the tallest hill within the territory, and right into the dining room where Zalmo beckons for his esteemed guests to take their seats. And he kind of motions to a very long wooden table. It looks like it's fit for 12 or 14 people. There's kind of 2 chairs tucked in on each of the long sides, and at the head of the table, a single chair for Zalmo, which is where he sits. You see there's a small metal cloche that sits in front of 3 of these chairs, a single silver plate in front of 2 others, one being Zalmo's, along with tinted cards, a little card stock with your names written upon them in a flourishing script denoting where you are to sit. So again, Zalmo takes his place at the head of the table. As per the name cards, the ladies are on the right side of the table, the gentlemen to sit on the left. Opal, Rumkey, and Hellcruck, you have the seats with those metal covers in front of you, the cloche. Once seated, Zalmo taps his cane twice on the stone floor. And immediately, they've been waiting in the wings, several children hastily rush into the room. Each of them are dressed in kind of their own, waiting staff attire, like black pants and a black vest over a white shirt. Some of the younger children look like the clothes are a little ill-fitting. But you do recognize one of them as Sasha from the Borlo orphanage. She's carrying a large tray with long-stemmed wine glasses for each of you. She kind of sets them in front of you, pouring this deep red wine for each of you before leaving the room. 3 other children scramble up to Opal, Hellcruck, and Rumkey, lifting the cloche in front of each of you to reveal your own silver plate beneath, along with a small coin pouch. As discussed, your payment for a job accomplished. Apologies for the delay, but a proper assessment of the denizen was necessary. 2 weeks later, give or take a day, it appears the Trinity has received the message that you so brazenly delivered. You will find the agreed upon sum of 50 gold each in your pouches, should you care to be so gauche to count it now.
Oh, I don't like being gauche. Nope.
I don't even know what that means, but I'll take it.
Opal, wiggles her feet from the edge to, sit on her legs so that she's high enough at the table. Sitting on the seat, crisscross applesauce. Starts sipping wine.
No need to apologize, Mr. Zalmo. I can understand you want to make sure that the job was well done. I appreciate you keeping your side of the bargain.
Is this fancy wine? What's this wine?
Aged Bordeaux from my personal collection.
Oh, wow. Because, we saw you at that expensive bar, so, we know you have expensive drinky tastes, right?
Yeah, this can't be cheap. I sort of swig it down, and I sort of hold it out. Got some more of that stuff there?
He kind of smirks. I'm not the only one that has expensive taste, it seems. He raps the floor twice more with his cane. Sasha returns with smaller aperitif glasses and a familiar-looking bottle with a banana-colored liquor inside.
Yes.
And she will begin to pour each of you one of these glasses. An additional token of gratitude.
Hey, now that's something special.
Kylea, the bottle. Look at it.
Kylea will just kind of nod towards you, but not say anything.
Perhaps we can consider it a prepayment for a future task I might have for you. And Miss Toggle Sprocket, you may in fact keep this empty bottle.
I probably won't drink it all tonight. Rumpke, you gotta get going.
What's that? Yeah, here. And I hold my glass out. Yeah, to fill that baby up there.
I sip it with my, pinky up, like a kid trying to practice a tea party and be fancy.
Kylea, come on, have a drink.
Kylea will tentatively take a little drink and put it back down and sit quietly.
Isn't this your home? You seem scared.
Shh.
Please, Kylea. For tonight, you too are a guest at my table. Enjoy yourself, as they will.
And she'll take another drink.
Yeah, you're his child, right? Zalmo, I know you treat your children well. Look at this place.
I do strive for a place of luxury for myself and my children, yes.
What a cool view of the city. Never been in here before.
I don't expect that you will ever return, though that does not mean we will cease conducting business.
You could probably make money, like, having people tour the area. You know, have like a little guided tour, charge a fee.
Many ventures in creating the flow of coin already exist. I don't believe I need to dabble into tourism.
Just an idea. Toggles and Sprockets would love to partner with you.
Now, Zalmo, pardon me if this is a rude question, but, you say we are not likely to be invited back. What's the occasion of deciding to invite us this time, as opposed to in the future, should we do business again?
Well, if you'd like to jump straight to the point even before the appetizers come out, fine.
No, I would like an appetizer.
I wasn't meaning to be rude, I'm just... never mind, sorry, just...
Hey, you care if I take this jacket off? I mean, it's really getting to my neck.
Please. And you see he'll undo like his cape and take off his cape.
Okay. I said, hey, thanks for the extra cushion, too. It's really popping me up a bit. I like that. This place has got everything.
He gave you a booster seat. Cute.
Well, we do have many children here in the castle.
It's because he can't sit on his legs. He's too muscular to, like, he's inflexible.
I've brought you each here not just to pay a debt owed, but to propose something else. A future relationship. And Kylia, this certainly includes you as well. I'm willing to offer the four of you patronship.
Patronship? What do you mean by that?
I'm offering the four of you the benefit of the influence I wield in this city, along with a steady income, an additional dwelling to do with as you see fit. In exchange, you simply come when I call, and if I need a task accomplished, the four of you accomplish it.
You know we'll do that.
Wait.
I'm more of an independent contractor kind of guy, rather than, like, an employee.
I own my own business, yes.
But, there's nothing saying we can't, like, do jobs for you and stuff. But we don't have to be, like, tethered together, as you might put it.
Right, can we, like, just choose the jobs we want to do?
I'm afraid that's not how it works. I need reliability. I need to know that whatever I bring to you, you will accomplish for me.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Zalmo, that, like my friends have said, it might be kind of tough, the carriage service and all. It keeps me pretty busy, and I enjoy the work. I'm committed to it, so I can't always guarantee I'm ready to take on more work at the drop of a hat.
Open your eyes and see the benefit that Zalmo is offering to all of you. Do you not realize what this will unlock for you? What more you can achieve with him by your side?
I feel like... Yeah, I don't know. Can we have time to think and chat about it? Like, not in front of you? Like, have a nice dinner?
I mean, is the job, like, to always, like, rough people up? Or is it, like, what other things could you be asking us to do? I mean, we want to know what we're getting into here.
Do you have a problem with roughing people up, Rumpke?
No, not that's the saying. If it's just roughing people up, might be all right. But if it's, where's the line?
Well, if they deserve to be roughed up, right? If they don't, I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I'm surprised to hear that from you, Rumpke. You certainly know where the line is and know when to cross it. Now, your name may have been kept out of the Storm's Herald, but I have my own sources that tell me your involvement in the incident at the Bastion Clash. You've killed a member of the Veritas.
Everybody that gets in the ring takes the risk. In the what?
You didn't think to tell us that was you, Rumpke?
Well, it really... Look, I'm working on it. I don't know what happened.
You're a killer.
It's not really my fault. And there... I mean, I wouldn't have crossed that line if it was up to me.
I certainly do not mean to imply that I'm judging your actions. I'm simply expressing that I realize that you are the man to cross the line when it needs to be crossed. Is that not the case then?
I don't know, Zalmo. I gotta think about this. I mean, beating somebody up and accidents happening in the ring is a lot different than somebody paying you money to go take somebody out.
Well, I assure you I have yet to contract an assassin in any of my dealings to date, and I don't plan to make it a habit.
So that's off the table then.
If that is a counter proposal to my patronage contract, then we can certainly work that in.
I do think I'm with Rumkey. Doesn't seem right to. It's not something I can get involved in. Actually, like he said, taking somebody out for money. I don't like it.
And, like, I'm cool with stealing, but, like, from bad guys, right?
Everybody has done something bad, Miss Toggle Sprocket.
I don't want to hand you a potion of poison and not know how you're using it.
Well, you won't be handing me anything. It will not be my hand doing anything. That is the point of the relationship. Now, Mr. Dredd, I am confused. Perhaps I had the wrong impression of you as well. You fight so hard to remain out of the spotlight due to your past, but tell me, did it not feel, even though it was so many years ago, when you put that gibbering moron of a son of Drake Blakely's in his place, did it not feel right? Did it not feel good? Don't tell me you've let that feeling slip away from you after all these years. Don't tell me you do not wish retribution against the family responsible for your father's death.
Well, now, Zalmo, that was a different me back then. I don't really like to talk about how it made me feel, but I feel like I've changed a lot and grown, and I'm not the same Hellcrook.
So you've forgiven the Lakely family, then? For all of their transgressions against you and yours? There's no bad blood there that remains.
Well, Mr. Zalmo, I think forgiveness is important. It's part of what's helped me move on and find joy in this life. Not be angry and full of hatred every day. I don't want to go back to being that way.
Well, I do agree that forgiveness is an important part of life. Look at my children. In the castle, I need to employ forgiveness every day. But there also comes a point where that forgiveness needs to become punishment. The Lakeleys believe they're superior to all those around them, that their family is somehow owed more than anyone else in this life. Wealth, influence, and power, it's earned. It is taken. It's not handed out to the first bootlicker that gets on their hands and knees with their tongue out. Do you not agree? Do we not align in these thoughts when it comes to the Lakely family?
Well, it kind of seems like what you're talking about is politics, and I've never been one for politics very much. I'm happy to stick to myself, look after the horses, and keep my nose out of trouble. I don't necessarily agree with everything that happens amongst the rich and powerful, but it's not my place to right those wrongs.
Everybody in Storecape is affected by the rich and powerful, by the founders and their actions and their decisions and their past, their ties to the South, to the Veritas. That affects all of us. That affects our entire city. That affects every one of Capian's well-being. Do you not wish to fight for that? To maintain our sovereignty? Away from those politics that you yourself bury your head in the sand from?
Well, I don't know, maybe, but I don't know that brute force and that's not necessarily the answer for everything.
So just so all the cards are on the table here, you're saying like you're going to give us a place to live, like in this, the cloudy green ass place, or someplace out in the city we want to live.
There's a dwelling in the Denizen that would be free to use as you see fit for the four of you. And yes, Kylea, that does include you. Part of this deal, Kylea, is more autonomy for you. In the very recent days, you've proved that you strive for that autonomy.
We wouldn't live in the castle anymore.
There's always a place here for you, Kylea, if you choose to remain. I'm simply giving you a choice.
We would get to live with Opal.
Well, see, I'm not, is this deal like an all or nothing thing? Cause like, I'm cool with whatever anyone else chooses, and I do want to move out of my parents' house, but, I don't know.
I'm proposing, and I thought that you would all see this. What I'm proposing is more than monetary gain. It is a new way of life, a new lifestyle, a new way of living, a new way of conducting yourselves within the city of Stormking. I thought you may be the four to see that vision, and I thought you may be the four to help me bring it to reality, to fruition. But perhaps I was incorrect. Perhaps you don't wish to utilize the very much secretive knowledge that I have the means of gaining and acting upon, perhaps like a tidbit of information of where Constable Happy Lilton may have been taken to.
We do, and we think we just need they just need a minute. We can convince them this is a good thing. This is a good thing.
Yeah, it's a lot to drop on somebody over dinner.
Yeah, wait, so Happy's alive? How can we know Happy's alive?
I believe that he is. But Rumpke has a point. Let us eat something. And again, he kind of raps on the cane, and some group of kids bring out some appetizers. Looks like it is fried calamari with a little bit of lemon on the side as the appetizer. Please, dig in.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah. What kind of chicken is this?
Oh, yeah.
The chicken of the sea.
Oh, I love shrimp. This is great.
Opal would like to check for poison. I'm just kidding.
You do see Zalmo does have his own share. He's eating as well.
Okay.
He's been eating and drinking from the same vessels that all of you have been.
I'm just surprised he's not like trying to control my mind or charming me or something. But anyway.
Well, would you like to do some type of insight check? I mean, it feels like he's being fairly upfront with you, but if you'd like to do that type of check to see if there's something that maybe he's holding back, you can absolutely roll for it.
A beautiful 7.
Despite how intense it seems that like Zalmo is speaking to you, obviously, you certainly get that. But yeah, it seems like he's attempting to lay out all the cards on the table for you. Now, he may be slow feeding those cards, but it seems like he has an intention to reveal the information that he has, because it's clearly to aid him in getting this relationship kind of agreed upon, right?
I really want to talk to everyone in private. Do we have to make a decision right now?
So, Zalmo, I mean, you're making a lot of interesting points here. This is really good stuff, let me tell you. Would we be eating like this, like all the time, if we joined up with you?
Again, I'm open to counter proposals to our contract.
All right, I got something for you. How about this? Why don't we, like, have an agreement for, like, say 6 months where we sort of trial with this little thing you're offering here, and at the end of that, we can decide if we want to go all in.
I think that may be the best idea of the night.
Yeah, I like that.
We all have to do what you want? There's no, like, personal boundaries?
Based upon what Kylea has told me about how you all conducted yourselves when dealing with the strange tree with severed heads and all of this lopper business, I just felt the four of you worked well together. If some of you do not wish to agree into this patronship, and some of you do, then so be it.
Surely if there's something that one of us really doesn't want to do, the others could do it without that one. And the job would still get done.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give up my fighting. I mean, I can still do both things, right?
Of course. As I said, I don't expect to be having a task for you daily. It is simply to be agreed upon that when I need you, you will become available.
What kind of income are we talking about?
Well, the original contract I've drafted is for 60 gold pieces a month.
It's not chump change.
We're talking about like all together, individually.
Each, of course, Miss Toggle Sprocket.
Oh wow.
You know, I'm about done sleeping next to Frank anyway. I mean, he does smell a bit. Getting a new place might not be too bad for a while.
Yeah, it is a very tempting offer. I can't deny, Zalmo.
The denizen isn't too far from home.
Will you let us sleep on it?
Of course.
Well, then let's get to the main course here.
And Zell will wrap his game twice more. And the main course is lobsters. Of course, more seafood, as you are on the bay.
More jumbo-sized shrimp.
So, the seafood that you catch here, it's not, like, polluted in this green crap? Safe to eat?
It's safe enough for the rest of the city. It comes from the bay. Comes from the open ocean.
True, I just didn't know if... Okay, yeah.
Hey, just dip it in the butter. Here, let me show you.
What's
you
a
can't
butter?
get enough butter on this stuff.
Butter?
The butter, right here, the melted butter.
Oh,
right
the
there in
butter.
the middle of the table.
Oh.
Yeah, just dip the whole thing in there. I've seen these before. You take the shells off.
Okay.
The outside, and you dip the whole thing into butter. And then you just...
butter?
In the butter. It's delicious. Oh, this is really good. Hellcook, you gotta try some of this.
Yeah, this is one of the nicest meals I've had in some time. I thank you, Zalmo. Regardless of what comes of our business together, I appreciate this.
My pleasure. Now, there's one other thing, Mr. Tread, that I believe you and I should clear up to avoid a potential conflict of interest. Now, in my name, you've already acted against the Trinity. Tell me, that does not upset your current employer?
What's he talking about, Hellcrook?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't follow you, Zalmo. By my current employer, you mean Lehand's carriage. That's who I work for, unless there's some confusion.
I just assumed that Lehan was taking his cut.
I really don't follow. What cut do you what do you mean?
Well, it's very well known, at least I thought, that the Trinity utilizes Lehan's carriage's services to conduct their drug business.
Oh my.
What?
I didn't know nothing about this.
No, I don't know that's necessarily the case. He's never said anything like that to me.
Whoa. Little old Lehan? You kidding me?
Yeah, I know.
And he knows about it?
I'm not so sure about that.
I'm simply posing a question. Again, to avoid future conflicts of interest.
Well, Lehan, you're his replacement. You're the guy.
Yeah, well, firstly, I find that hard to believe about Lehan, but either way, even if it were true, there's potential for me to be taking over the business before too long, and I'm not sure that I would want that sort of thing happening under a business I'm running, so I don't see it being a problem.
If you join with Zalmo and then take over the business, the Trinity wouldn't be able to come against you because you would have Zalmo's backing. Just saying.
I mean, that's a good point, Carly. Granted, if, Lehan's carriage services is involved with the Trinity, which I'm not so sure that that's the case, but
Well, regardless of whether or not Lehan himself gets a cut, it is clear that the Trinity uses the carriages to facilitate their drug sales. Now, that can very easily, I will admit, happen under Lehan's and clearly your own nose, as it would be something that may be difficult to stop. As I understand it, a member of the Trinity gang takes a carriage to a particular location where the buyer will then take the same carriage to another location. The crossover of passengers is where the handoff occurs.
well, yeah, you know, I don't like hearing that, if that is true, but we do have a lot of carriages and a lot of customers. We can't keep track of what everyone does with them.
Of course not.
But yeah, the point stands that I don't think Lehan would be in on that and taking a cut, as you say. And if and when I take over the business, I don't plan on being involved in that either.
He did say he had a wild side when he was younger.
Does it matter to you that Lehan has this sort of side business thing going on with the Trinity?
I would certainly never besmirch someone doing what they need to make it in this city. Again, I simply want to avoid any type of interference. You all know that I have my own dealings with the Trinity and that are not amicable. I wouldn't want to put Hellcruck in a position to have to choose or do something that he certainly would not want to do.
I got the impression that you were fine with the Trinity staying in the Quarrelers as long as they didn't go to the Den.
Traditionally, the Quarrelers is their territory.
Is there, and maybe this is none of my business or anything, but are you, trying to make it your district?
A man does have dreams and aspirations, Rumpke. But that would be a very large undertaking. The Trinity has their hands in the same pot as at least two major guilds of the city. I'm sure you all know that the Trinity essentially runs the unsanctioned fights for the Brawlers Club.
We don't talk about that.
I guess Rumpke knows.
Well, I don't talk about that. I mean...
It's the first rule of Fighters Club. Yeah.
That's right. That's the first. And the second. In case you mess up number one.
There is? Wait. Okay.
The second has been said to be the Stalker's Lodge, which directly ties in with their drug trade. Have you heard of the street drug stupor? Certainly none of you partake.
Stupors are easy pickpockets, but they generally don't have anything on them.
Hey, everybody's got to get their fix somehow. Some people gamble, some people drink, some people do that. I'm not here to judge.
Well, the point being, these are two very ingrained establishments within the city. Their connections with the Trinity run deep as well.
And you like stupor or you don't?
I do not partake. Again, if I had my hands on the plant that the Stalker's Lodge seems to propagate and supply the Trinity with, like I said, I don't besmirch somebody seizing an opportunity.
Is this plant from the Tireless Glade or something?
It is derived from the pulverized mineralis flower. Its petals. This flower has been said to be extinct centuries ago, lost to the Tireless Purge, well before the lunar lamps were set in place to keep the growth of the forest at bay for the city limits.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, or we've never had that ingredient at home.
I don't suspect that you would.
Mineralis flower. I would love to get my hands on some just to, investigate.
Well, perhaps I'll file that away for a future task once our relationship is fully established. I, too, would love a specimen of this flower. Surely there's a garden or greenhouse the Stalker's Lodge is keeping somewhere within the city. Perhaps within the Tireless Glade itself.
I assume our little arrangement here would, we wouldn't be, like, telling people we work for you. It would be on the down low, so I don't think anybody in the Trinity should have to know that we have some kind of agreement between us, right?
Well, what am I supposed to tell my parents?
You're moving out and living with some friends. You got an apartment.
There are benefits to being associated with my name, and there are certainly pitfalls. As with this relationship, my friends become your friends, my enemies become your enemies. But, on the flip side, your enemies become my enemies. And my enemies do not particularly favor being my enemy.
How do you feel about those city guards?
Well, I managed to have a few of them in my employ, a very small collection. Finding a non-dirty city guard is very difficult in Stormcape.
Oh, for real? Is Happy dirty? Also, where's Happy?
I believe that Happy has been taken by the Trinity. There has been word of them acquiring a city asset for safekeeping.
Okay. Why?
Well, that remains to be seen, but I can only make a very educated guess on the constable's whereabouts. And if the Trinity does in fact have him, they're more than likely keeping him sequestered inside of Stormcape Prison. What better place than away from the prying eyes of the city guard, not on this Trinity's take? Storm's End, as it's so aptly named by the inmates, has become nothing more than a Trinity member housing project.
Now, do you know anything about his brother Jed? Was he clean?
I have not investigated, but I could do so on your behalf.
I'm more worried about Happy. Jed's kind of old news. I don't know, I still need to think about it, but I do like having more information. It's nice.
In the effort of full transparency, as I assure you that will remain part of this relationship, getting into Stormcape Prison would serve two purposes. Of course, retrieving Constable Lilton from whatever cell the Trinity has thrown him in, but also for my own benefit, of retrieving a particular inmate for me and aiding in their escape as well.
So you want us to break into the prison and free Happy and some other dude?
Yes,
Sounds pretty risky.
it is incredibly risky. Have you ever heard of a man named Benito Algator?
What? On second thought, I do want you to look into one of the guards to tell me if they're clean or not. I want you to look into Sergeant Bannon. I've trusted him with a lot of information. I want to know if the good guys know that information or the bad guys now know that information.
I'll consider it a part of your counter proposal.
Thank you. I guess.
I'll be honest, Zalmo, I do wish that the next job that you'd proposed for us didn't involve going into prison, given my history there. It's not somewhere I'd ever really wanted to go back to.
I understand that, Mr. Tread, but it is your involvement that will tip this chance of this mission's success well in our favor, as you are the key asset for this task. Your knowledge of the prison and the system there within, despite not having been within the environment in a number of decades, still that knowledge is invaluable.
Well, I guess you have a point there. Now, let's say everything goes terribly wrong. We get caught, we get locked up in prison, sentenced to life in behind the bars. What sort of assurances do we have that we might be able to get some help to get out from you or from some of your colleagues?
To undertake this mission, I will arrange a small boat for you to take from the northernmost dock of Stormcape Bay. you simply take it to a hidden access tunnel around the side of the plateau. That tunnel will take you to the back of a cell, where you'll peel away a brick wall, a portion of it, and meet my inside man, a guard named Oln Nedbull. There he will provide you with doctored transfer papers, each with a new name and alias, so you will not be imprisoned under your legal names. With these papers, you should be free to move to the appropriate cell block that holds Benito. You will unfortunately need to uncover where the constable is being kept on your own once inside. But I assure you, through Oln, should things go south, you will immediately be extracted with release papers, also pre-drafted and ready to be used.
Oh, well, does seem like you did your homework and thought this through.
It's kind of scary how corrupt the system is.
Hey, Zalmo, do we get, like, expenses? Like, if we need to pay people off to get some things to go our way? That doesn't come out of our pocket, right?
Bribes are a unfortunate way of business. You are correct, Rumkey. We can certainly work out a bribery stipend, perhaps?
Okay.
Like a retainer.
Exactly.
I hate that you've talked me into this.
Well, Opal, I don't know that anyone's necessarily ready to agree.
Well,
remember, we were going to
Dang
sleep
it,
on
we
it.
need to get happy, and we're not going to get happy without all these fake papers. Son of a gun.
I tell you what'll make you happy. How about some dessert?
Ooh.
Excellent idea.
He's like running this dinner.
And again, each a number of children bring out a little cup full of creme brulee for each of you. And they, Sasha is running around with a little blowtorch, and she will give it each a bit of a torch, crystallize the sugar on top for each of you, ready to eat.
A candle. She
Kylie gives Sasha a thumbs up as she does it.
Oh, I need one of those for my alchemy.
Kylie, you've noticed throughout the dinner that a number of the children serving you, which is very unusual, right?
Yeah.
You've definitely gotten a few glares as the dinner has been going on.
I'm gonna, like, give a quizzical look to one of them. Like, what?
And he just kind of looks to you, looks at, all this lavish food, this 3-course meal, and just kind of, like, shakes his head as he exits the room.
Can I do an insight and sort of see if I pick up on this little interchange?
Sure.
A 10.
Well, he rolled a 9 to try to be a little surreptitious. So you certainly do see this exchange between Kylia and another one of Zalmo's children. Which child is this, Kylia?
Big Bob.
Oh, I know Big Bob.
Yeah. That's probably why you noticed it a little more, because you'd recognize Big Bob, so then you're like, oh, hey, I know you. Oh, wait, why is he giving Kylia glares?
So, do I get the impression that he's sort of got this, like, who do you think you are kind of thing, or like, what are you doing here kind of thing?
Definitely a little bit of both.
Okay.
Predominantly, like at first it would be like being quizzical, and then, I mean, obviously, as any kind of ritzy place or well-to-do family or dinner party or gathering should assume is that the help hears everything, right? So it's not like this conversation is falling on deaf ears for these children. So they're certainly like beginning to understand what's happening. Because again, Zalmo straight out said is offering Kylia a shift in their own relationship as well, which is far different than Zalmo's relationship with the rest of the children here.
Yeah, so she's sort of the help, and now she's getting this this olive branch to come be part of the upper crew.
Yeah.
And so I can see why Kylia might want to take this deal. I mean, she has nothing to lose.
What makes you so special? Why are you getting treated like this when we're not? We're having to serve you?
Exactly.
But also, you seem really nervous, and you're not saying much. To me.
Zalmo's not happy with me right now because of my walkabout.
I'm not happy with you about the walkabout either. But now Opal can't point fingers because she's excited to work for this Dark Lord, whoever he is, signing away my soul.
That's how they get you, one step at a time. You think you're doing the right thing, and you're taking
The
a
dark
step
side has
down the wrong
cookies,
path.
man. Yeah.
I think I'll just finish up dinner and then say, hey, I think we got a lot to think about. When do you need an answer?
As soon as possible, really. Are you not itching to retrieve the constable? He's been locked away for some time already.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for the guy, but...
We're in. We'll do this. We got this. We can do this. Opal, we gotta save Happy. We can do this.
Yeah, it's just a 6-month trial. We can always opt out.
I do like the idea of having at least one night to sleep on it. Maybe we could have an answer for you. Say
That's
tomorrow.
another night that Happy has to stay in a cell, and you don't know what he's doing to you. What they're doing to
Happy
him.
will be all right. I've been in a cell lots of times. It's not that big a deal.
But you weren't in the cell for the Trinity. You don't know what kind of torture they're doing to him.
Hey, I don't like high-pressure sales here. Just give us a night.
The night in the bottle.
And a bottle. And the other things we talked about that we said we'd consider.
Yeah, redraft it up.
Let's officialize a counteroffer or two from each of you if that's what you want to propose. You can certainly hash that out. And yes, Zalmo is perfectly fine for you guys to take the night and then like tomorrow to discuss amongst yourselves. He's not expecting something to be signed on a dotted line right now. So, counter proposals are a bribery pool, some type of sum of money for which you can expense bribes out of. 6-month trial period, right?
Free cancellation.
Either party can decide they don't want to have anything to do with the other without any repercussions. We shake hands and leave as ex-business partners. We get a residence.
Can it be furnished, please?
That's a good idea. Furnished.
Okay, furnished dwelling in the denizen.
I think we need to be careful about how much we're asking for here, because I assume the more we ask for, the more is going to be expected of us.
It's the implication.
Opal wants him to try to get Mineralis flower powder, or the flower itself. And Opal also wants him to investigate Bannon.
Mr. Tread? Kylea?
Well, to be honest, I think it's a pretty fair deal. It's just a matter of if it's something that is going to work with all of our lives. I think we had mentioned that, you know, there's an understanding we can still carry on with our existing responsibilities, and for myself with the carriage service. So I don't think I have much to add, really.
Would we be expected to carry on with our current duties?
Is that something you wish to continue or to cease?
We would like to cease the pickpocketing, but would like to continue to be involved with the other children.
I accept.
And we can still come and go to the castle.
This will always be your home, Kylea.
We accept.
Wonderful. Shall we open another bottle?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
That
can I
sounds
pick the
good.
bottle?
Of course.
I just want a good color and shape, you know? I've got a house to put it in now.
If you, he'll take you down to like the basement where the wine cellar is if you want to accompany him, and you can, he'll let you pick out a bottle open.
Alright.
While they're doing that, Kylie is going to go in the kitchen and confront Big Bob.
Okay, so Hellcrack and Rumpke are kind of left on their own at the table.
Rumpke, there's something I need to show you and tell you about. An old friend, I guess, stopped by to visit me, and they were asking about you.
Who's that, dear?
You might remember Zoe.
Oh, yeah. Of course I remember Zoe. What did she want? Did you tell her I was doing all right?
I did. She was worried about you. Thought, heard about the unfortunate events at with the fight and wanted to make sure you were okay.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping she wouldn't hear about that there. But, so she knew it was me?
Well, look, I told her you were okay. You weren't the person who was, you were okay. I didn't say that you were involved necessarily.
Yeah, I'm working it out, man. I'm working it out. We're getting there. So what else did she have to say?
Well, she had this.
And I reach into my pocket and pull out a necklace. And on the necklace, there's a pair of miniature steel axes that are sort of welded together to form a cross. I hand it over to Rumkey.
Well, where'd she get this? This is just like my tattoo. I learned a little bit about this today. Yeah, this is the giant bane. I'm pointing at one of the axes. This is a goblin bane. These are like symbols from this god named Clangadin Silverbeard. This has something to do with my visions. It has something to do with my tat. How did she get this?
Well, she told me actually that it was something she found in her father's drawer of his desk.
I take it. I wonder why he never gave it to me.
I don't know.
I don't. There's got to be something to this whole religion thing. Did you tell her I was all right?
Yeah, I did. I didn't give her too many unnecessary details. I wanted to let you share with her if you wanted to. But why would the head of the Masons Assembly? Is this your necklace or?
Well, it has to be. And I sort of rolled my sleeve. See? It's the same thing.
Right.
There's got to be something going on here. There's got to be a reason. I didn't know who I was. I still don't remember. I know who I am. Something fishy's going on here. I don't know why Seth wouldn't have gave this to me a long time ago. Thanks, Hellcrook. I sort of put it in my pocket. I have to work on figuring this out.
Well, like always, Rumkey, if there's anywhere I can help, don't hesitate to ask.
Thanks, buddy. I think we got some big decisions to make here. We're gonna be getting ourselves in a mess, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know what to think about this Zalmo character. It does seem like a pretty good deal, which also makes me a little worried. Almost too good.
Yeah, most of these things go sour pretty quick. Hell, the first job's not even a cinch. We may not make it out of that. But let's talk about it after we eat some more dessert. Here.
Grab Opal. She ain't eating it.
She only ate half of hers. Here, you eat the rest.
Zalmo and Opal return. A wonderful selection, Miss Togus Rocket. I do apologize for the lack of variety in the wine bottles. They generally only come in one shape.
I thought. Anyway, it's fine.
Please. And he'll have one of the children open it again. I assume at this point, Kylia will have returned as well from talking to Big Bob. And Zalmo will, motion for you all to take a seat again. He said, please enjoy this bottle. I am going to retire for the night. However, take tonight, take tomorrow, but let's begin to build this relationship. I look forward to each of you signing on the dotted line. Good night.
Good night, Elmo.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks again for this wonderful meal. We appreciate it.
He'll kind of slightly bow and leave the room.
Now, do warlocks have 6-month, trials? Is this a thing?
This certainly isn't a warlock
it's not a pact.
patronship.
Okay. We're not signing away our lives to another genie.
You're not
or-
getting any magical abilities. That's not part of the contract.
And we didn't even bring it up! Magical abilities is right there in front of our faces. We should have did that.
Do we know if Zalmo has any magic? Or would Kylie have said anything? Because we've just seen him, walk and talk, right?
Kelly has not said anything.
Yeah, he's just rich. Okay. As far as we know.
This is really good wine. How many bottles did he bring up?
One more.
Well, let's finish this thing off.
Yeah, while we're doing that, Kylie, now that we've got a bit more privacy,
Privacy? We don't have privacy. If you want privacy, we gotta go.
Okay.
I have a few questions too. Let's get out of here.
I had to go have a talking to with Big Bob. He was giving me the stink eye all throughout dinner.
Okay, well, maybe we can talk about that too.
I'm so happy for you, Kylia.
Well, we haven't signed anything yet, Opal.
I know, but it seems like Kylia's being promoted. I mean, she's being treated really well. And I like to see that, because sometimes she seems so... Sorry, Kylia, but sometimes you seem so scared and, damaged.
Well, we did sort of, anger Zalmo when we left. We didn't tell him where we were going, and we were gone longer than we expected, and he wasn't super happy.
Wait, isn't wandering off how you ended up here in the first place? Come on, man.
Opal, only you know that.
Oh, sorry.
All right, let's head out.
Yeah.
Let's get out of this green-covered...
I take a swig and I hand the bottle to Rumpke.
We believe you've had too much of that.
Hey, you can never have too much of it.
He's just killed a guy. Let him have a drink.
You,
Also, we need to
Opal.
talk about how you killed a guy.
You've had too
Let's
much.
not talk about that too much either.
Oh, the repression! Oh, God. It's crushing me!
But you're right, I do need another drink.
I have questions about Lehan. I have questions about Zalmo. I have questions about Stupor and this flower. And the Trinity. Did you know about the fighting clubs?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of moving parts to the city. You just gotta... I wasn't aligned with anybody.
Well, you all got your hands in the same pot, meaning you're in competition.
Now, if we sign up with this Zalmo, then, as he put it, they become my enemy. I didn't have any enemies until I met Zalmo.
That you knew of, and also it's Zalmo. He's not a puppet.
I thought it was with an E.
A.
I don't even get that.
Yeah, but he said butter.
That is true.
Well, it was good butter.
Okay, I would, if we haven't already started heading toward the
Yes,
exit.
you are well down the hill that the castle is perched upon at this point.
No, Kylie, I will say I have noticed that at times you feel almost a little bit scared of Zalmo. What happens when one of his kids, one of you, doesn't do what he asks or gets him angry? What does he do?
He is disappointed in us. He doesn't talk to us. He basically pretends we don't exist.
Oh. Well, for how long?
Depends on what was done. It's been 3 days he hasn't talked to us.
Well, that's not very nice, but, not as bad as what I was worried might.
He's never hurt us.
Well, that's what I was hoping.
He's never locked us in a room. The worst that we know of is he has thrown someone out of the castle and said they could never come back.
How many stories up were they when he threw them?
Yeah, that's a good question, yeah, Hellcrow.
No, not like that.
Has he ever given you stupor?
No.
Has he drugged you?
He would be upset with us if we took something like that. He doesn't want that for any of us.
Well, he really has a lot of control over you for not actually, like, hurting you, so I was just wondering what he has against you, you know?
It's more what he has for us. He's saved many of us from almost certain death out on the streets. He has taken us in when no one else would, given us a home and food and a family.
Has anyone ever decided that they'd had enough of Zalmo and they wanted to leave? What happens then?
Zalmo.
Thank you, Opal.
Yeah, see?
That's what I said.
No.
That's what I've always been saying.
Everyone's free to come and go. If they decide they don't want to live with us, they are welcome to leave.
That's good. You're not like a prisoner. That's good.
No, never have been. We don't understand why you have such much misgivings of Zalmo. Anything on my part is because we are upset that we upset him.
Right, you just, like, seem to be fearful and, like, scared, and then Seychelles seems... I don't know how to say this, but I don't like her.
You don't like Seychelles?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
What is it exactly that you don't like?
Anything I like, you don't like. Anything you like, I don't like. We are opposites.
I like you. You're cute.
That means you don't like yourself now.
Well, now I need to go to therapy.
Put it in the contract.
On-hand therapist.
I like that you are good friends with Kylia. You support her.
Yeah, she just got a promotion, man. Pretty cool.
We just gotta keep in mind, he hired us to go take care of some of his enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And if we ever become his enemies, he might hire somebody to come and take care of us. He just seems to be the kind of guy that's gonna make sure that nothing gets in his way. We gotta know what kind of person we're dealing with here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I agree, but I can't help but admit that it does seem like a very convenient and well-timed agreement to help us deal with our current situation.
Right, 6 months. What could go wrong?
I feel a little bit better having some of my concerns sort of laid to rest from you, Kylia. I don't know why, I was worried that he maybe didn't treat you all that well.
Zalmo was the second person we met in this city. He took us away from a very bad person who did hurt us. And we are grateful to him for providing a home and family. And we made him certain promises. And one of those promises we recently broke, and that is why he was so upset with us. And that is why we are upset for breaking our promise.
Did you promise not to leave?
Yes,
Were you thinking of actually leaving, or were you just on a walk?
we were trying to find home. Find some sign of home. And we found giants instead.
Kylia, why now? Why did you decide that you wanted to leave Zalmo?
Not so much that we wanted to leave, this is more we wanted to look. And with everything that had been happening, and he's given us more freedom recently that didn't really have before, we felt maybe now was a good time. Apparently we were wrong.
If you ever go looking for home again, just make sure we come with you. I'd come.
Okay. Yeah, you could help me talk to the giants next time and figure out what they mean, because they did not speak common well.
We're not going back to the Giants.
Yeah, I'd steer clear of giants.
We know home's not there, so we're not going back there.
They said maybe there were some giants in the giant village that might maybe know something. Maybe, which is why Hellcrock I wanted to go with the transport next time with the carriages, with the supplies.
Yeah, it might be worth looking into. I agree. Well, Kylie, you say you're looking for home. Where was your home?
We don't talk about it much because it makes us sad, but it was... Oh, Hellcrock, it was beautiful. There was trees and lots of people like me. And the colors, Hellcrock. Nothing like everything that's around here is so muted and dull. We don't remember where it is other than in the mountains.
Oh, I see. You're not sure how you came to be here?
Well, the city, kind of... not supposed to tell you this. It comes and goes. And sometimes it's here, and sometimes it's not here. And one of the times it was here, I left, and then it left, and I wasn't there.
Is this something I may be familiar with, like that sort of phenomenon, or have read about? Would I be able to piece together, like, where Kylia may be referring to?
You can roll an Arcana check.
12.
Yeah, with a 12, like, you don't know exactly the place in which she speaks, but it's from her description, like, it's clearly not a place that, I mean, as she said as much herself, doesn't exist permanently on the material plane.
Something perhaps planar that's going on.
Right.
Well, Kylie, maybe one day we can find a way to help you find your way back. I don't know.
Well, see, Shadal's helping me. Yes, we're helping. We're keeping an eye on things, and we're gonna let her know when her city comes back. See? We thought we'd just, go out and take a look, see if anything looked familiar, so that when it does come back, we'll be ready.
There's a few holes in that plan.
Well, in the meantime, maybe we can sort of be like your family in a home away from home.
You are?
We are about to live together.
Yeah.
We haven't signed anything yet, Opal.
Oh,
This'll be fun.
I do want my own room. As fun as sharing a room sounds, Kylia.
We've never had our own room.
I haven't either, and I want to make my whole alchemy station, and I have big plans.
This is gonna be so cool.
Ah, there you are, my friend. Just in time to witness the unveiling of my latest creations. Feast your eyes upon these vials of liquid wonder, guaranteed to add a spring to your step and a twinkle in your eye. For you, my friend, a special price. Just a handful of coins for a vial of boundless possibilities. Consider it a small price to pay for the thrill of the unknown. And remember, if you ever seek any more of my concoctions, just visit theincorrigibleparty.com for updates on my latest wares. And before you go, I have heartfelt thanks to Tabletop Audio and Sarastro Music for setting the ambiance with their enchanting melodies. If you wish to support our endeavors, head over to Patreon and join our merry band of adventurers. And don't forget to join our Discord realm. That's where the real magic happens. Finally, dear listeners, share the magic, rate us, review us, and spread the word. Let your friends uncover the finest tales this side of the material plane. May your gears turn smoothly and your inventions never rust. Happy adventuring! Oh, I forgot to mention, there's a World Anvil website. It's all on incorrigibleparty.com. Sorry.
This has been a Sounds of Steel production.